Hi there, colegas. How about a little hip stretching? We get some tight hips from sitting at our desks. Maybe you're a runner, or maybe you just are, tight in the hips like I am. I got a new one, that just because I have a very twisted body. I have scoliosis, so my hips are not even, and that created some tension on my joints, so I had to get a new hip. Not too long, I'm 52 years old, so it's kind of a bummer. But for those of you tight in the hips, maybe it's a nice moment to take a break from your desk and do some stretches for the hips. I know for the people at home, probably you're wearing sweatpants like I usually am. From here up, it counts, but from here down, you can wear whatever you want. So hopefully you haven't got too tight of clothes on, too tight of a pair of pants on today, and that this will be an easy exercise for you. What I'd like to ask you to do is move away from your desk, turn your chair, or come and sit somewhere where you might have a little bit more room, and then sitting straight up on your sit bones, so maybe you have to pull something out of the way. I know I do. Sitting straight up, you bring your left knee upward, maybe you need to help it a bit, and put the ankle on top of the knee. Maybe you're already feeling a stretch through that left hip now. If the ankle is on the knee, bring your toes upward. What that does is it stabilizes your knee joint. If your toes are not, how do we say that? If you're not using some tension here, your knee can get blown out. So be very careful with that. So as you sit here, you pull your ankle as high as you can, but don't bring it to your waist. That's too far. And then try to see if you can push your knee downward a little bit with that left hand. And we're going to adjust the pose a little bit more. You've pushed the knee down with your left hand. And now we're going to do something challenging. We're going to try and sit up really straight. And as you sit up straight, you push your shoulders downward. If you were with me in another exercise, you have your navel in and upward and your ribs closed over your navel. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is holding on with your left hand to the left knee, your right hand on the right ankle, to sit up straighter and inhaling, look straight ahead. And as you exhale, try to bend forward without rounding your back. You're going to start feeling some tension in that left knee. If you start feeling too much tension in the left knee, be careful, stop. You will start feeling some tension or some stretching in that left buttocks area. But keep your elbows close to you. And as you keep leaning forward, you pull yourself forward via the collarbone. You're pressing your shoulders low. As you pull yourself forward, you try to keep your body as straight as you can. Instead of coming over like this, come over like this. Inhale, stretch forward. And maybe you get your chest lower on that lap. Perhaps you can even stay with a long back and bring your elbows to the front of that bent leg and putting your hands together. Push your elbows against that leg, press your shoulders low, and stretch your chin forward. That makes your back stay straight. Keep breathing. This is a deep stretch that is often done in a yin yoga class. Yin yoga is a calm version of yoga where one holds poses for a long time and learns to deal with getting through difficult moments. That's one of the lessons in this yin yoga practice, is that you might feel a little bit of discomfort in the pose, but you allow the body to slowly accept the discomfort that one feels, as long as there's no pain. Pain is not good, but a little discomfort, you can learn from that. It's a good theme for life. So as as you're leaning forward, you're breathing, your face is relaxed. Maybe you close your eyes. You still have your toes pulled upward, and you're still squeezing the shoulders downward. Inhale here, and maybe you can go further. And now it's time to relax, chin to the chest.
And then we're going to stay here for as long as, no, not as long as we can, but see if you can relax in this forward pose, bending forward. Another function of this pose, besides that deep stretch you are probably feeling in your left hip, is that you have a chance to maybe close out the world for a minute, calm down, have a dialogue with yourself and not with someone else. Breathing only through the nose and deeply. Watch where your breath goes as you inhale. Feel it enter your torso. Feel your torso go back to the beginning, to fold inward at the exhale. The expansion comes at the inhale, and the relaxation comes at the exhale. We're going to breathe one more deep time in, and exhaling. Slowly bring your arms to the back and push yourself upward. Keep your chin to the chest. Come slowly upward, inhaling until you have reached
a straight up sitting position. Bring that ankle from the knee and put that foot back on the floor and just feel that leg for a minute. Maybe you want to dangle that leg and swing it. I always describe the feeling that I get in a limb after I've stretched quite deeply as the feeling of having eaten a fisherman's friend only in that area. My leg gets very tintily, it gets very energized, I feel the blood flowing, I feel about some kind of energy in that. Maybe you can feel that too. We'll do the right leg, so pull that knee upward, bring the toes upward, and press that right knee downward. Just a little press, just to get your body used to what you're going to put it through. And slowly we'll move further into the position by grabbing that left ankle with the left hand, pushing slightly on that right knee, and sitting straight up. You feel the sit bones digging into your chair. You feel the shoulders pressing downward. You are pulling the navel in and upward on the exhale as you push your shoulders down. Your chin is slightly in so that as you inhale, you feel elongation. And as you exhale, you begin to lean forward with that straight back. Again, the chin stretches forward. That helps you keep your back straight. Go slowly forward. You can keep breathing. You don't have to wait till that full exhale. Just work with where your limits are. Seek the limits, but don't go over the limits, because then, you can really hurt yourself. Again, think of your knee. If it really hurts, back off. And one more deep stretch with such a long back, and then see if you can bring your elbows in front of that leg. The hands are together if that suits you, and press your shoulders low. Stretch your collarbone forward, and sit bones are deep in that chair. If you're like me, this is my tight side. I can really feel this going across that right hip joint. And what happens when you stretch, they say it brings a lot of fluid, conditioning fluid or lubricating fluid into your joints, which is really good because we want to keep our bodies good and sappig, good and juicy with our own bodily lubrication system. It's called synovia. If we keep that flowing, keep that moving in our bodies, then it's kind of like an elixir for eeuwig jeugd, the eternal youth fountain. Because if you don't keep flexible in many ways, not just in your body but in your mind, you tend to stagnate and you get older faster. So let's keep our minds open and that hip open. Lean further forward, and maybe you can just
relax to the floor, clench your arms, dangle. Don't forget to keep your toes upward to protect that knee. And fill the torso with breath. Make sure you feel it and observe it. Maybe you feel some deeper sensations inside that hip joint. Just take a few moments. This is a good investment. You know, you're probably looking at your watch. When is this going to be over? That's a pretty standard reaction to a deep stretch because it is something that we don't do often. We don't stand still often enough. And there's so many advantages, so many ways to advance and make yourself better by just standing still for a moment. And maybe doing something that's slightly uncomfortable that in the end does have a great benefit. Take another deep breath here. And as you exhale, feel full relaxation, and then bring your hands to that leg with the chin to the chest. As you inhale, come and sit straight.
Bring that leg out of that position. Maybe you feel that fisherman's friend feeling in that right leg. Just take a moment to feel that. And I think we've done enough on that hip area today. I hope that these are well received, that people like just these few minutes of time for themselves to just check in and take a few minutes out of your workday to do something that's not a social media activity. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing whether you like this or not. Bye-bye.